to all of you. Good evening from France, from Paris. And I just want to say that tonight I'm making this video dedicated to all of you so that I can spend time with all of you. Share time with you, speak with you, connect with you. And then what we are going to do this time with the video is going to be a little bit different than any other video teachings. Like example, if I'm going to give teachings like for 10 minutes, 9 minutes, and today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, even I post like once in a week. If I keep on doing that, it's going to be really boring because it's not going to be connecting towards you. It will mean nothing but just a beautiful another Dharma teaching for some daily practice, which is not going to make any kind of sense to you. So that's why what we are going to do from this time is that first of all, we're going to let our Sangha member ask question, and then after and then this time we let them ask question to me, and then I give an answer to them. And then the next time, on the Facebook, what you can do is like I will upload this video, and then you can leave your questions below in the comment. So you can feel free, actually, like all the comment that you leave down in my Facebook page, I'm reading it every day, every minute of my life. So you don't have to worry about that your question is kind of disappearing in nowhere. You don't have to worry about that, okay, my dear friends? And then now we'll start the question, and then I just want you to relax and meditate and relax, okay?
Rinpoche, I have some questions from the Sangha members. The first one is, my family is very traditional, a religious tradition. I appreciate it, but at the same time, I would like to find a new way for my spiritual life. Something that I can adapt easily to my daily life.
Okay, so something that you can adapt into your daily life other than just being a very traditional. And the point is that when we often say that, oh, my family is very traditional, I cannot follow that because it's too heavy, because we are living in a modern time, modern life, a lot of technology, a lot of information all over the internet, and somehow whatever we see or hear, we still have a desire to find the truth and find the meaning, and try to find, we always try to find some positive quality to adapt towards ourselves into our daily lifestyle. But you have to understand that whether we live in the 21st century or whether we live in the 15th century, Dharma has always been the same. People has changed, city has changed, lifestyle has changed, pollution has increased, definitely. But how our mind functions has been not increased in any negative or any positive more than before, has not been decreased more than before. Our state of mind has been equally same as before. But our effort towards the Dharma practice, towards the spiritual practice, there is no shortcut. We all have to put our effort, but just putting our effort is not enough. Finding a good teacher for yourself who can love you, who can care for you, who can respect you, and who can, most importantly, who can give you time to what you need in your spiritual practice. So I think that is important for all of us, that doing what you want is good for temporary, but following your instruction through the example, through the teacher, whether teacher can be woman, teacher can be men, it does not really necessarily have to be a great famous teacher. It can be any teacher who has a spiritual quality. So spending time with them, first of all, before you depend on them, spending time with them and listening to their example, their practice, I think that is quite important. So maybe taking your time with the teacher and listening and practicing step by step, and then you will find your own way to live your life with your modern Dharma spiritual path.
The second question, Nitila. I am practicing Buddhism for the last 12 years, and time to time I am in confusion. Even I do the practice Dharma. What is your advice?
My advice is that as a part of a human being, like me as a Kalu Rinpoche, I have nothing special power or anything like that. We all have to go through the same step, the same practice, the same instructions. I do not get some extra advice just because I'm Kalu Rinpoche. There's nothing special about it. We all have to put our effort in it for the Dharma practice. And of course, confusion happens, and I think that is really good, because if you've never been confused in your spiritual path, you might be going in the wrong direction sometimes. So being confused time to time makes you more awakened in your path. So being more awakened means being more careful in your responsibility for yourself, in your spiritual path and your Dharma path. So being confused time to time is good, because all of us, every once in a while we become confused, but it does not mean that we are falling into some kind of trap. So the next time you fall into confusion, you don't have to judge yourself or reject yourself. The one thing we can do is that when we are confused in our Dharma path, telling yourself that everything is impermanence, I think that is really important. Because me myself, I've been confused many times in my life. But always the very helpful advice that often I give to myself is that everything is impermanent. Tomorrow is a different day. A few minutes later is a different time, different life, and there's so many different opportunities, so that we can overcome with our Dharma practice step by step naturally. There is no because when we look at the Buddha in Buddhism, our expectation is like, once I practice Buddhism or spiritual path, will become enlightened right away or very fast in a very beautiful way. That is our expectation. The reality is that even in the Dharma practice, there's so many different struggles. The most important thing is being close to your teacher and practicing Dharma, reading history of all the great different teachers will inspire you, and then it will help you to decrease all the confusion in your Dharma practice. And that is my personal experience.
The last question, Rinpoche. I chant a lot, I do prostration a lot and reciting mantras. In spiritual practice, is the number important or the quality? And the duration of the practice, does it make any difference?
Yeah, actually duration of practice does make difference time to time. And most importantly, what we have to understand is that chanting a lot of mantra will not really help you to realize enlightenment faster. It will not help you, make you enlightenment faster, because chanting is good, but most importantly, why we are chanting, that's the question we need to ask. Why we are chanting a mantra is that because that we can have a less distraction in our visualization practice. Because sometimes only doing a visualization practice can be really boring, can be help you to fall into sleep very easily. Only doing a visualization practice is kind of difficult doing every day. So when you do a practice through your speech, it gives you less distraction in your visual practice through your visualization practice. And then number does matter in the beginning, to motivate us, to encourage us, to enthusiast ourselves, to give a positive impact, to chant a little bit more and more, and to push ourselves to improvement. But at the end, the number is not the main priority of the practice. The main priority of the practice is finding a stability in mind. And finding that stability in mind, you need to find a little bit of clarity in mind. And a little bit of clarity that you need to find within the mind, you need to start with a visualization practice. Only doing a visualization practice will not help without the help of without cutting down distraction. So cutting down distraction step by step. We cannot cut down the distraction right away in one day. we can cut down the distraction while we do the practice. When you live your life, it's different. Nobody can judge you. You have your own life. You have to do whatever you want to do. That is not us to judge you. But the most importantly is that when we practice Dharma, the true improvement comes not with the duration of your practice. The true improvement in our Dharma practice will come when you decrease the distraction. Decreasing the distraction is the most auspicious thing in our spiritual path, and that we have to understand very clearly. So maybe that's it for today. So maybe next week I will share the same video. So I hope that you enjoyed what I shared and what my Sangha member asked all the questions, beautiful questions. And I wish you a good evening, and thank you very much for your time, and I will see you next time then. Thank you very much, Kyabje Kalu Rinpoché.
Thank you.
Love and care. Okay.